Theory and Practice, Foundations for Effective Integration. So, what is technology integration? Technology integration is the use of technology resources such as computers, mobile devices like smartphones, tablets, digital cameras, social media platforms, the internet, and etc. in the daily classroom practices and in the management of a school. So, here are the ingredients for successful integration. First, foundation of learning theories. Second, technology pedagogical content knowledge or the TPAC. The third, technology integration planning model or the TIP. And then the last is essential conditions for integration. We come now to learning theories as basis for integration models. So, there are two models, the directed instruction and constructivist instruction being integrated. Directed instruction. The learning is transmitted knowledge. Teaching should be teacher-directed and well-structured. Instruction is sufficient. The needs and problem addressed here are individual pacing and remediation, making learning paths more efficient, performing time-consuming and labor-interactive tasks, providing self-instructional opportunities. We come now to constructivist instruction. The learning is constructed knowledge. Teaching should be meaningful. Instruction is student-centered. And then the needs and problem addressed here are addressing motivation issues through interactive activities, learning how to work together and problem solving, and then using high-level and low-level skills at the same time. So we come now to technology integration strategies based on model. So there are two models, the directed and constructivist models. Under the directed models, a remedy identified weaknesses or skill deficits, promote fluency or automaticity of prerequisite, and then provide efficient self-paced instruction, support self-paced review of concept. And then we come now to constructivist models. Under that is the foster creative problem solving and metacognition, allow to multiply intelligences, build mental models, and increase knowledge transfer, foster group cooperation. And then directed models and constructivist models are both generate motivation to learn, optimize scarce personnel and material resources, remove logistical hurdles to learning, and then develop information literacy and visual literacy skills. So we come now to technological pedagogical content knowledge or the TPAC. So here is a Venn diagram of a TPAC. And then we come now to technology integration planning. So there are 6 technology integration planning or 6 phases for this. So phase 1, assess technological pedagogical content knowledge. Phase 2, determine relative advantage. Phase 3, decide on objectives and assessments. Phase 4, design integration strategies. Phase 5, prepare the instructional environment. And then the phase 6, evaluate and revise integration strategies. So we come now to phase 1 in technology integration planning or the TIP. So, phase 1, reflect. This reflect on the pedagogical content knowledge or the TPAC. Self-assess knowledge domains. So what is my knowledge of technology or the TK? What is my knowledge of pedagogy or the PK? What is my knowledge of content or what is my knowledge in CK, short for knowledge of content? And then where do I see myself in the TPAC model? So let's go to phase 2. This determine relative advantage. So why should I use a technology-based method? What is the instructional problem I am addressing? Do technology-based methods offer a solution with sufficient relative advantage? Phase 3. This decide on the objectives and assessment. How will I know students have learned? What outcomes do I expect from using new methods? What are the best ways of assessing these outcomes? We come now to phase 4. This design integration strategies. So what teaching strategies and activities will work best? What kind instructional methods are needed? How can technology best support these methods? Or how can I prepare students adequately by using technologies? Phase 5. Prepare the instructional environment. Are essential conditions in place to support technology integration? What equipment, software, media, and materials will I need to carry out instructional strategies? How should resources be arranged to support instruction and learning? What planning is required to make sure technology resources work well? So we come now to the phase 6. This evaluate and revise integration strategies. So what worked well? What could be improved? How well has the technology integration strategy worked? Or what could be improved to make it work better? So here are the essential conditions for technology integration. National Education Technology Standards, or the NETS, for teachers. A teacher's ability to use technology to good advantage is determined in large part by whether the school district and or school have provided essential conditions for effective technology integration. So, shared vision for the technology integration. Empowered leaders, standards and curriculum support, required policies, access to hardware, software, and other resources, skilled personnel and opportunities for PD, then technical assistance, appropriate teaching and assessment approaches, engaged communities, and then appropriate teaching and assessment approaches. So, we can first here in this shared vision for the technology integrated. This coordinated school and district planning and involve teachers and other personnel at all levels. Budget yearly amounts for technology purchases and make funding incremental. Emphasize teacher training. Match technology to curriculum needs. Keep current and build in flexibility. Empowered leaders. Systematic success with technology requires involvement of entire community. Stakeholders at all levels are informed about the globals of the community district and school. We come now to standards and curriculum support. NETs for students in 21st century student outcomes and the ICT framework identify higher order thinking skills and digital citizenship as critical for lifelong learning and productivity in our emerging global society. Students learned these technology standards in the context of their content area coursework rather than as a separate subject area. Therefore, it is critical to situate technology skills in content area curriculum in ways that support both and subject area content and the technology skills. So we come now to required policies. Internet use policies, acceptable use policy or the AUP, legal or ethical use policies, policies to ensure equity, financial assistance, incentives, and accountability policies. We come now to access to hardware, software, and other resources. Finding funding, purchasing hardware and software, setting up and maintaining physical facility sustainability. And then skilled personnel and opportunities for PD, hands-on integration emphasis, training overtime, modeling, mentoring, and coaching, or post-training access. Technical assistance. Each teacher needs training in simple troubleshooting procedures, such as what to do if a computer says, a disk is unreadable. Teachers should not be expected to address more complicated diagnostic and maintenance problems. However, nothing is more frustrating than depending on access to a computer to complete an important student project only to discover that it is broken or malfunctioning. So schools must support teachers by replacing and repairing equipment. Appropriate teaching and assessment approaches. So models of technology integration range for relatively passive uses. Example, teachers reviewing a topic with a PowerPoint presentation. To more interactive hands-on uses. Examples, student using word processing for student reports or internet searches for research, or creating hypermedia products to communicate research findings. Each technology integration strategy is appropriate depending on the instructional need, and teachers should be encouraged to use all of them. Assessment practices will vary with the technology integration model. The critical factor is matching the teaching strategy with an appropriate assessment strategy. So, the last one is engaged communities. Partnership are encouraged between schools, business, corporations, and individuals. So technology has the most impact on achieving educational goals when schools involve the entire local community. This means holding public forums about technology, initiatives, bringing community members into the classroom, educating those who can play key roles, and fostering partnership among schools, business, corporation, individual entrepreneurships, and educators. Partnerships typically benefit all partners. Businesses often partner with all school programs to make a dream a reality. This is not only a way to extend school technology budget, it brings many talents together to work toward a common purpose, schools improvement. That's all. Thank you and God bless.